Welcome everybody to Monsters and Madness, a Dungeons & Dragons podcast featuring some of the members and friends of the Hawk Cleaver Community. If you're enjoying the podcast, then please don't forget to head on over to hawkandcleaver.com, where you can find an amazing community of creators and content, including novels, short stories, comics, podcasts, and merchandise. So, without further ado, let's dive into this week's episode. So, it has been a very, very long time since we've last played. So, you guys, after successfully restoring order to the city of Russellton and getting rid of the goblin and hobgoblin problem, the town leader, Darther Gumbert, has received a letter from a man known as Professor Bunzel from a neighbouring town called Croft. Now, this town has seemed to had some kind of eureka moment and has this kind of, it's become a mecca, it's become a magical city of light and technology, almost like a Vegas of the fantasy Dungeons & Dragons world. So much so that they have renamed it the City of Power. It's no longer named Croft, it is named the City of Power. This inventor, this scientist who has discovered this technology, this power source, has obviously Professor Bunzel, or Professor Power as he's known, has sent a letter to Darther Gumbert requesting that someone, a representative from Russellton, come and speak to him and give them the okay that Russellton is ready to receive this power source. Simply going to the town and giving Professor Power the thumbs up is going to reward you guys with 4,000 gold. So it was a no-brainer. We're fucking going. Along the way, you encountered some bandits on the tradeway, which Scamos took quick work of, and it was not an issue, and I just kind of took that encounter that I'd really lovingly created and just tossed it in the bin. It was fine. I'm okay. Don't worry about it. But apart from that, by a snake. Yeah, you did. You still got bitten by a snake, which is just a little something for me, which was nice. However, during this travel as well, the lovely Finn stumbled across part of a treasure map. And from what you can gather and what you can glean from this treasure map, it seems like some kind of treasure is buried just beyond this misty forest where you first met the dryad Elmora. However, that is a potential lead for another day, because you have arrived at the city and it was everything that you had expected to. Lights, technology, carts that were pulled along by themselves without horses, magical signs that lit up it was complete in the middle of the night. It should have been complete blackness, but this thing was lit up like Vegas itself. After a little bit of shopping and buying some stuff, you stumbled into a tavern, which I believe was called the Electric Dragon. Been a while. And after a couple of rounds, Uraprax decided to test his bardic chops, and he got up on stage and kind of poem slam rapped a little ditty about hobnobs.
I hear they're fantastic from another realm.
That was enough to secure you guys free lodgings for that night, and probably a couple nights afterwards. We ended the game there. You guys drinked into the very wee hours of the morning and went to bed. And you are now awaking a fresh new day, feeling a little bit hungover, a bit of a headache, a little bit groggy. But you guys are awake. You have a lead on potentially where Bunzel will be, because all these magical golden threads which connect this power source to all the buildings seems to be spidering and connecting and pooling together into one point. You haven't followed it yet, but you can see that it's starting to coalesce and merge, this magical golden thread. But the day is yours. It is a fresh, crisp morning. It seems like stuff is already happening. You've probably overslept with all the drinking and late night. But everything is a little bit groggy, and you're feeling a bit tender and fragile. What would you like to do?
I'd like to try and find the oaks.
Well, I must really be hungover, guys, because it feels like last night was months ago. It really feels like it was months ago.
It was exactly 2 months and a bit ago.
That's one long night. I think the other thing we should importantly check as well is has Lawrence been brushing those horses adequately? Because we all know how important that is. You've got to brush horses. That's horse care 101.
Mm-hmm.
This is that you were gifted by Darthet Gumbert, are now in the safe hands of the kind of horse valet, Lawrence. That is correct. Good memory, good memory.
I wonder if the Wizard Cup has any concoction that might cure our current ailment.
Yes, the Wizard Cup. It is a new fresh day. There is a new liquid in the cup.
Who owns the cup? Is it you, Finn? Not Finn.
I'll pull it out my magic sack.
I'm guessing you guys are kind of in the bar area, coming down from your bedrooms and stuff.
The foyer.
Yeah. So on the way down, I'm thinking to myself, who are these people? Where am I? Who am I? And it all just starts to come back. I start to remember. And then I remember I have the Wizard's Cup, and I pull it out of my magic sack. Hey guys, who wants some of this? I sort of pour the potion into shot glasses that I stole from the bar from the night before.
Alrighty, roll a d20 for me.
7.
Alrighty. As you begin to pour it, this weird kind of constantly swirling and fluxing liquid that seems to be constantly shifting and changing colours, as you decide to finally actually tip it and start pouring it, it sets on this kind of deep, rich purple as you all kind of pour this potion into four little shot glasses.
Can we all? There's enough in there for us all to take a drink, yeah?
You know, for shits and gigs, yeah.
Awesome.
It's a small shot, not the full 25ml, but
we should probably wait until
we'll hang on to the shot glasses, and we'll keep walking to the bar area perhaps, and just maybe have a bit of a look around, look at the new day, see what's going on perhaps.
Sort of hesitate over the breakfast menu while wait for Brex to come down from his chamber.
I like that. I like the breakfast menu, definitely.
Seems to be quite a more luxurious spread than there was at the Winged Horse back in Russellton. This being a much bigger, much luxurious and electrically powered kind of bar tavern inn. It's got the standard like eggs and bacon, fresh bread, kind of big cuts of meat.
That's good.
But yeah, it seems to have a bountiful kind of menu, kind of like a proper Caesar Palace buffet going on. Shrimp, lots of shrimp.
I'm getting really hungry now, like for real.
Yeah. Apart from the big gnarly dragonborn character that's missing an eye, who's was at the bar last night and still seems to be at the bar at the moment, it seems quite deserted and empty. Seems like as much as this town is the kind of city that never sleeps, this is quite early in the morning still, probably pushing 10 o'clock, and obviously no one really goes drinking at 10 o'clock in the morning.
When it does sleep, it sleeps in.
Yeah, with the city that never sleeps, when it does sleep in, it does sleep in, yeah. However, the very flamboyant bard that was kind of hosting the karaoke night seems to be sitting by himself in a corner of the room.
Okay.
Uraprex, that's your pal, but before we go over there, Finn has poured these delicious-looking purple shots for us. So, I mean, I'm in. I'm just going to put that right out there.
I mean, yeah, why not? Why not kick off the morning as we ended the night?
Exactly.
Okay. So you're all drinking these potions, yeah?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
All poisoned.
You're all dead.
Game over.
As you down this purpley liquid, it has a very familiar taste to some of you. as you kind of down this liquid and swallow it, and you kind of feel like your skull slowly start to go numb and expand ever so slightly, as you once again have managed to get your hands on a fucking read thoughts and detect thoughts potion.
Nice.
And you're just, what? As this kind of hungover migraine mixes with the detect thoughts potion, and everything, like your skull just feels hollow. You kind of just sit there, and it's like everything is just underwater, kind of roar.
Can we read the bard's thoughts?
What's the duration on this potion? How long will we be able to read thoughts for?
Usually it is 10 minutes. However, because you've divided it among 4 and taken a shot, I'm going to say about 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Quick, read the bard's thoughts.
Yeah, let's go to the bard.
Okay. Everyone, a couple of you clocking on instantly because you've drunk this potion before, and a couple of you who haven't, starting to get grips of it. You all kind of subtly kind of twist your heads and turn and look at the lonesome bard, still beautifully flamboyant as usual, but seems to be just tending and just nudging a bit of egg on his plate. Still seems to have wine on him. And as you kind of start to focus and hone in on what his thoughts are, you can kind of hear it. You're like, oh, I absolutely must talk to that dragonborn over there. I feel like he has the answers. He may have the key. But how do I go up to him? I can't just waltz up there. I mean, last night it came to me and he wanted to talk to me, but I can't just get him to go up and perform again. I need some kind of confirmation. Oh, what am I going to do?
I turn to the guys and say, would you like me to take this, or do you want to go as a group?
Well,
I mean,
You got this one, buddy.
I want to hear what he says. I'm going to stay within earshot, but you've got it.
Okay, I casually sidle up beside him and just sit there quietly.
As you kind of get up and start walking towards him, the detect thoughts is still there, and he's like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, be cool. Again, not saying any of this out loud.
I say nothing for a short while. Then I
kinda
get up and return to the others.
wait. So you what you fucking doing? You ghost him?
Yep.
Oh, you hear him?
Wow.
You hear him? Oh no! Oh fuck! Maybe I was giving
And
off
then
weird
I
vibes.
spin and go back and sit beside him again.
Wait.
Feeling a roller coaster, this guy.
He does this thing. It's blatantly obvious now that you've detected his thoughts. He does that kind of thing where he's pretending like he hasn't seen you, and then does the kind of double take, like, "Oh, there you are," kind of thing.
I point at his plate and say, egg.
Yes, the eggs here are lovely. Do you mind if I picked your brain, you scaly little magician, you?
I'm hungry.
Do you want some?
I'll take some. I eat his egg.
Well, may I first be so bold as to introduce myself? My name is Zeldon Delafoy.
Of course.
And your performance last night was absolutely fantastic. The way your articulation and the syllables punctured each, it was like percussion of its own. It was fantastic, captivating. I've never seen anything like it before, and you, my good man, have a gift.
Thank you. I considered myself a little rusty, but I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Rusty at all. Don't be silly, but I am compelled, I am intrigued to ask, why no drums, no percussion, no lute to kind of harmonize with the melody of your tune, my good boy?
I'm a man who sees the simplicity in the arts as the true exploration of expression, and prefer the tone and the vocal melodies that come with speaking and experimenting with language over such trivial adventures as music.
Feels like a French kiss. Oh,
De la foi.
You kind of still with the detect thoughts. You kind of hear it just subtly at the back of your mind, his mind, and he thinks to himself like, but what if he can't play the instruments like me? And he kind of goes, but you must, surely. Maybe just a little drum or the lyre, a harp even. Maybe some kind of accompaniment, my boy. It'd be so much better.
What is it that you're angling towards? What do you need?
Oh,
Because clearly this is going somewhere, isn't it, De la foi?
you know what? You're not even going to have to roll a persuasion for that. With all the other things that are happening. He kind of, still with this beautiful, flamboyant and almost angelic demeanor about himself. But his eyes seem to kind of narrow and get a bit more serious. Kind of leans forward. May I confide in you, my good boy?
Of course.
I believe there is some kind of curse among us bards. Are you able to play instruments?
What about my demeanor would suggest that I can't?
Oh, my good boy, someone as skilled as yourself, it'd be silly not to.
I dabble.
You see, I feel like you are not being completely honest with me. For something has happened to me. I used to be able to play such wonderful songs and instruments. Oh, just simple spells and melodies I would weave. I could fly. I could make people do my bidding. I could cast lightning from my fingertips, but something has happened.
Since when did all of this stop?
It's been months now. I don't know what happens to us. They say that us bards, when the gods first created this world and they spoke it into existence, that echo, that primordial words that resonate throughout the universe, we channel that echo into our music, and that is why we can cast spells, but for some reason I can't do it anymore. Our words and our songs, I believe, are starting to fall on deaf ears.
It sounds like a dodgy position to be in for a bard.
Yes, it is, isn't it, fellow bard?
So what is it that you need the music for? It seems like, you run this karaoke night and, karaoke's a bit crass, but this performance night and you have bards come up and do their jam. So what is it that's stunting your performance?
I can't do it anymore. Anytime I pick up an instrument, the strings break. It's constantly out of tune. Even hitting the drum, the skin of the drum immediately breaks. I fear for the other bards. I feel like something is happening to us. Not just myself, and not just you.
I lean in closer. You might not be alone with that curse.
Kind of grabs your arm. I mean, if it wasn't a weird kind of serious situation, you would have thought he was going to smooch you. Kind of grabs and pulls forward. He's like, you have to do something. This goes far beyond you and I and just simple words and music.
What is it that you expect us to do? If you've got an entire city here full of bards that don't know what's going on, what am I going to do? I'm not from here.
Look, if it ever happens to anyone else, I need to be here to protect them, to be a shoulder to cry on, to be a wing to look after them in this weird situation. You need to go out there and find out why.
Can you give any idea of anything that might suggest where to begin, where this might have started?
It's like I said, we always believed, us musicians, that we would channel the echoes of the gods themselves, their words they used to speak, still resonating within the multiverse. We would take that echo and channel it into the songs, but I don't know. Maybe these gods that have given us these gifts no longer want to listen to our songs. Maybe they can't.
Leave it with me. Myself and my men, will see what we can do. We won't make this our top priority, but if we do come across something that is of help to you, we would do what we can as one bard to another.
Kind of relaxes a little bit. Thank you.
A mysterious voice comes from the other side of the room. Ask him about money.
Is there recompense for such an adventure?
Recompense, you fool! If this is as serious as I think, all of the bards in all of the lands, all their songs, all their spells will just disappear overnight.
Leave it with me. I return to the other guys, and I just say, you don't need me to explain what just happened, do you?
Yes.
No,
we need you to say everything that you just said.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I have particular troubles as a bard, which relates somewhat to the same kind of nature as this man's troubles. My thinking is, if this is something that we can solve, it might be something to also potentially prevent the curse that has been laid upon me, which would be quite nice, because I'd like to play the ukulele without exploding half of the front row.
Would be good. We could have little songs on our road trip as well. Put some little accompaniment in there. Do you know much about how you picked up the curse, or is it too painful to talk about now?
I would rather defer you to other people who you've never met, who could answer better than I could ever answer.
In a more planned out and in keeping with how do the French say, continuité?
Oui.
The D&D French.
Mm-hmm.
Bretonians? I don't know. Never mind.
Yes.
Wonderful. While we're sitting having breakfast, does anyone object while having breakfast if I just mess around with my poison kit here at the breakfast table and prepare some poison? I only got it last night. I haven't had time to tinker with it yet.
Just be careful. Don't get it in the food.
Yeah, I'll try my best not to bunny, but I figure whenever we're setting out on an adventure, you never know when you're going to need to poison a guy or woman. Yeah, so I would like I would like to. The barman doesn't have a problem with this. Let him make some poison here at the breakfast table.
I mean, do you get the kit out and stuff?
I mean, can I just turn my back? Have I got a shady little corner, or should I go back to my room for a minute and pretend I'm just brushing my teeth?
Is it like when you take your own drinks to a bar, they just look at you a bit weird?
Just get my kit out.
You know, in the magical fantasy realm of Dungeons and Dragons, it's probably not the weirdest thing that's happened. You get your almost like an old school kind of lunchbox, almost like a little kind of square with a kind of hexagony roof. You kind of open it up, almost like a toolkit. Kind of opens up and then opens up again. Tiny little beakers and vials and stuff. Okay, so roll a d20 and plus your proficiency, because you are proficient at poisonous kits.
Thank you very much. Let me just open up my sheet because I do not have that with me. Here we are. I'll roll a d20 while we're there. So the base roll is 12, and then let's see what I've got when this PDF opens.
What's a PDF?
It is a pretty
dank file.
Yeah. Right, so which stat do I run this on? Is this my...
Not a stat, your proficiency. So it's just above all your skills and stuff you can do, all your acrobatics and stuff like that.
Okay, so I have a proficiency bonus of +2, so 13 then.
13. Yeah, it takes a little while as you start to tinker, pouring liquids, venoms and stuff like that, which has come with the kit. Little vials of stuff, little bits of dried mushrooms that you are slowly kind of chopping into a fine powder, rehydrating and kind of mixing in with all these weird other chemicals and stuff. Yeah, after about half an hour of tinkering and eating and kind of just chatting amongst yourselves, you successfully, and what you believe to be a successful little vial of poison.
Awesome. And how can I use this? Do I treat my weapons with it? Do I slip it into a guy's drink? Do I like?
Got shot glasses here.
Let's find out, because there are many different kinds of poisons in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. Was there anyone you were particularly interested in going for? Some examples I can get you off the kind of top of my head would be poisons which you coat your like weapons with, which would then like be effective if they were to get onto the skin or into the bloodstream of a unsuspecting victim. Or if you wanted to be more slash and dagger and hitman-y, you can make a potion which would be active via ingestion.
Well, just poison Zeldon.
You want to poison the bard?
No, come on.
I take personal offence to that, Oren. Back your hammer down.
I'm quite happy to destroy an encounter that was likely to happen because the guys are already hostile, but I'm not sure I'm quite up for poisoning someone who asks for help just yet.
What if the curse is like werewolves? Like the bard's curse is like werewolves, where you have to kill all the werewolves up the chain to kill the first one to break
kill the head one.
Break the curse. Yeah,
We might actually be stopping a lot of deaths by poisoning Zeldon, right?
that's
now.
right. That's right.
Where
just
do
put
I,
that
as the bard, fit into that chain? That's if it comes down to it, and I'm somewhere up that ladder. What does that mean for the group?
Well, he
That's
hasn't
it.
got you yet.
But
He's
I
got
am
the
cursed.
He's got the
Oh, you
curse
are
as well.
cursed. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's cursed.
Oh, we better not.
Did you give the curse or receive the curse?
I mean, I didn't use protection.
Right.
Whee!
Okay.
Classic bard.
To save too much having to do lots of research, in the long term, I would like a little bit of all types of poison. But I think if I'm going to choose, I mean, I'd like to be able to sneak in someone's drink, but I don't think we've been invited for any dinners yet. Once we have a dinner invitation, you can all remind me to make some dinner poisoning.
Would you say this is
now-
a general purpose multi-poison?
For now, can I just dip my Have I got enough to dip my arrows in there? Can I dip some arrows in the poison?
Okay. You have made a basic poison. So as an action on your go, you can coat this with a slashing weapon, a piercing weapon, or you can use this little vial to coat up to 3 pieces of ammunition, so 3 arrows or 3 crossbow bolts. Applying this poison takes an action. Once an enemy is hit with this poisoned weapon or ammunition, they must make a Constitution saving throw, and if they fail it, they will take another 1d4 poison damage. Once applied, the poison I cannot speak today. The poison retains potency until about a minute, and then it will kind of dry off or slick off of the weapon.
So I'll keep it ready for when we're entering a combat situation. That's good though, because that means I can just keep it in this bottle, and if a dinner invitation comes up beforehand,
Just uncork it.
Bit of a side question. Oren, do you still have your kipper?
Yes, I've got 2 kippers.
Jesus, that's what that smell is.
I could actually replenish my kippers. They've probably got kippers in the breakfast buffet here.
The problem is the bet is centered on the current kipper you have.
Oh, they have to be these specific kippers that are hanging from my belt right now.
I decree.
I would
Okay.
say the damage.
As you mention this kipper, a bit of the flesh just kind of just slips off. It's just peeling away. It's like dry and stuff. Oh,
No one is sitting next to me at the breakfast
No.
table.
Would it invalidate Oren's bet here if I was to help him by giving him some poison one day to put on these kippers?
No.
It's not poisonous enough.
That would not invalidate the bet at all. That's totally fine. So let's keep that in mind. Thank you, Scamos.
you don't think that coating the kipper in your poison would help or hinder it? But as you see that rotting bit of kipper flesh come off and hit the floor, you kind of scoop it up and add it to your little poisonous kit. Like, yeah, that could work.
The most deadly poison. Guys, by the way, this is going to be my thing. That anytime I encounter something that might be poisonous, it's going in the bag.
It's definitely a special poison bag.
And let's just make a note, guys, that piece of kipper that has gone into Scamos's kit, that also is part of the bet. So
I
my
can
kipper.
test. I can test.
And if he uses that in a
I want your
poison that then
opinion.
kills someone, I have won the bet.
I want Finn in, because if Finn joins in with my side, then it's 2v2, and a moot point goes to the owner of the original bet, which is me. So
Finn, you can't argue that. Come on,
Finn-
that is my kipper that's in
There's
there.
two kippers, is that right?
Yes,
And a little bit has fallen off one,
which is incredibly toxic and poisonous.
but the bet was to keep at least one kipper
it's
with
to
you.
kill someone
The bet
using the
was
kipper.
to kill or damage them.
It was the
Kill-
cause damage. With the,
Oh, cause damage.
I don't. Oh well.
I don't
I
think killing someone with a kipper.
It was a fish bet, 2 gold
You know-
pieces.
You know what
Yeah.
it was? I've got it here, 2 gold pieces, and it just says use kipper in battle. I've written. I don't even need to hurt them with it. I can just
Use
use
kipper,
it.
not use an individual scale.
I think he's found a loophole here. I think this could win in the bet.
I think you're a loophole.
I love how we've got like genuine. I think this is very genuine pub conversation we've got here. If any NPCs are walking in,
Yeah.
I'm not bored of this. But if that's the way the group rolls, then fine.
You're gonna
I
have
will.
4,000 gold soon. 2 gold is not that much.
No, I'm going to have 3,998 gold.
Yeah.
Actually.
Should we venture into the town?
yeah, should we head on out and see if we can follow those wires to the Professor of Powers? house?
Bunzel.
I also want to, guys. I really want to get some of this golden thread. Like, even if we have to cut some down or something, like, let's just keep an eye out for maybe some spare spools of it somewhere, because I really want to grab some at some point.
Are you thinking we can take it down the scrappies and trade it in, get some money for
Yeah.
it?
Maybe
Maybe.
to charge your phone
I mean-
on the road.
I think there's a lot of uses for it. I've got a lot of ideas for this golden thread. One of which is it's gold, and we could absolutely use it to trade for something. But just keep your, let's just keep it in mind. I want to
Okay.
try and grab some.
Okay.
Do a very expensive hanging if we have any enemies who are really making it so.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys are literally going out into the main strip and just kind of following the thread.
Yes.
I think so.
We can find.
Alrighty. It is very easy. You kind of go up into the main strip. Again, there is, although it is kind of early in the morning, the sun is up and shining, all these magical lights and these magical signs are still beautifully lit and just shining brightly. Again, the across the road on the opposite side of the Electric Dragon seems to be this shop called Brews with a Z, and it has again this queue coming out of it like it already had the day before. These 2 young humanoid creatures seem to have quite slightly pointed ears, but they're a little bit furry, and they're not like elven, they're more of like a weird fur to them. These 2 girls come out kind of holding these beautiful kind of bottles and potions, kind of giggle to themselves and uncork them and sip them as they kind of leave the shop. As they leave, more people are kind of shuffling in as this queue goes out the door to this shop. But you follow these golden threads. You slowly come off of the kind of Vegas Strip, the kind of touristy part of this town. Starts to go into more of an industrially kind of vibe and a feel. This golden thread seems to be connected to all these huge kind of factories, these large kind of areas where they're sawing lumber and like chopping down planks of wood, making these telegraph poles, these pylons, which are already been shipped off and starting to be planted in Russellton to connect the thread. You see beautiful forges with huge plumes of smoke coming out of them, and some smaller, more intricate kind of leather crafts and stuff like that, jewelers. But all this magical golden thread all connected them, and they've all got these varying in quality, brightness, size, but they've all got these magical kind of neon signs outside. And you seem to continue to follow it. All these bits of golden thread connecting together, getting a bit thicker, a bit chunky every time they kind of spider and web out. But you seem to just follow them and follow them and follow them. Again, it goes into the residential area. Seems to be a lot quieter, a lot more subtle here. Street lights, still these magical carts that are being pulled along and just lightning just arcing slightly underneath them and just zapping into the ground as these magical carts without horses are being pulled along. But in more of a subtle residential area. And eventually it comes into this, at first a beautiful thread has now become almost like a thick cable, almost like a rope or like a shipping rope, kind of nice thick rope. And it seems to eventually connect into this one house. Seems completely ordinary and just the same as all the other houses that seem to be connected on this residential area. These are quite nice houses, don't get me wrong, obviously with this magical technology and this hustling, bustling, thriving city. These seem to be very similar to like the slightly fancier residential area of Russellton, like the shoreline, the slightly bigger, nicer houses along the seafront. But this one that all this golden thread is eventually connected to, and you can see this nice chunky, almost golden rope now, is connected to the very top of this house and seems to be connected and seems to have this kind of plate which is kind of bolted onto the roof, so it seems to be like a nice secure mechanism. Is just a standalone, completely ordinary house, just like any other, not some kind of magical, luxurious mansion where this wonderful Wizard of Oz scientist lives. Just an ordinary house.
It's the first thing I'm buying when we get paid.
How much is a house like?
The window is like 3 silver, right? So.
Oh my god.
So like 4 windows, the door.
Why all these
You've
questions?
probably got the Velux windows as well.
What would be the mortgage rate on a house like this as well?
Good question.
Oh, you got
Is that how finances work? Do people have mortgages?
If there's mortgages anywhere, it's going to be in the City of Power.
Okay, it's not an official book. It is a homebrew. It is a fan made. However, if you wanted a mansion, a nice big chunky mansion which has like 10 rooms, so which could be divided into like bedrooms, bathrooms and stuff like that, in a big city like Croft, would run you about 9,000 gold.
So we'll have to pool in.
That's not that much.
No, hold on. This isn't a mansion though. This is a regular house. So it's probably going to be like half that.
Probably even less.
So I think you can afford this.
I'd say about 6,000.
And if we go for a 5-year fixed rate mortgage, I reckon we can get it.
Yeah,
what's your deposit though? That's the big that's the big
what kind of deposit do the banks expect?
The deposit is 4 horses.
What's stamp duty? Not in this game, just what is it?
God, Dungeons and Dragons stamp duty. Okay, let me do for fuck's sake.
Hold on, what's the plumbing like here?
Yeah.
Magical. The golden thread connects to the toilets.
Which way along the road are we walking? On the left or the right?
You are walking along the left. So this magical house is, as you walk along, is on your left.
Okay.
Is there people around? Is it kind of quiet? Is there road traffic, anything like that here? Because
it is. It's almost like when you go abroad, and you have like the big kind of touristy parts which are always busy, and then you take like a couple of turns, a couple of roads, a little bit further out of the town, and it kind of, you can tell like this is now just a normal residential area which doesn't seem to associate or be part of the big hustly bustly kind of touristy attraction. The occasional person or person on a horse kind of goes past. Still nice though, like nice big roadways that divide it. It's not like a slum where it's all packed together tightly. Everyone has a nice little kind of front open area to front garden, a driveway obviously if to put horses or carts and stuff.
Can I roll a perception?
Can you roll a perception? Yeah, of course you can.
16.
16. With that 16, this house, which the power seems to be connected to, which you are assuming is where Bunzel lives, not much in terms of like shit going on. I mean, there seems to be a little bit of a glow coming from inside from maybe like a magical lamp, but it's not like lit up like the 4th of July kind of thing.
Should we just go straight ahead and knock on the damn door?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Let's get stuck in.
Who wants to do it?
I'll go.
All right.
Well, we should all go, but I'll knock.
Yeah, that's the bit you've got the best hands for knocking on doors.
You do.
Really, I'm really going to slam on this door, really hammer
They're
it.
very callousy, yeah.
In a polite way, though, make it like a jaunty tune, even though it's a heavy knock.
Okay.
Beautiful. A few moments pass, and the door opens. Before you stands just a guy. He is kind of average height, pushing on a little bit, maybe in his 40s. Seems to have like just a kind of tuft of hair at the front here, but at the sides it's kind of receding back, so he's got like that very long kind of back bit going on. Kind of quite heavy bags under his eyes. Seems like he's pulled a couple of all-nighters. Got one of those old schooly kind of doctor's cloaks. Have you guys ever seen Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog?
Yep.
Yes.
And he's got like one of those old school kind of lab coats with a big kind of front bit that goes up and buttons along the shoulder. Hasn't got any gloves on, but you could imagine he has like big chunky gloves that he put on with this long lab coat. And it opens the door and looks at you guys. Hello.
I look at one of the bobbleheads that was being sold, which I lifted from a kid in the street as we were walking, and I compare it with the man standing in front of me to see if they look the same.
They have been very generous. He seems a little bit younger in his bobblehead. His bobblehead is a lot happier by the looks of things. Less bags, bit more hair, bit more. Even the bobblehead seems to be kind of standing there proudly with the magical arcing through his hands, and he seems a little bit kind of not downtrodden, but he's got kind of hunches a little bit. So they have been. It is him. He looks like the bobblehead, but they've been a little bit generous with the bobblehead.
One of these Funko Pops of everyone these days, isn't there? Anyway, so I put that back in my pocket, and I guess we can begin. Professor Bunzel, we presume. But I don't sound as sinister as that made it out. It's quite cheerful.
Yes, and who might you be?
We are... Well, there's 4 of our names, we'll come to that. But we have come in response to your letter to the Mayor of Russellton. He has sent us to answer your letter. Do we have the letter, guys?
I don't know.
No.
No, I think you guys were smart enough to take the letter. It's been a while, but I think you have the letter.
I think it fell out my pocket when we were getting drunk last night.
Hold on, let me rummage through the big sack of goodies.
I think I've wrapped a kipper in it.
No, absolutely not. No kippers are allowed in the sack.
Oil stained and see-through. And
This is great, guys. This is exactly why everyone underestimates us.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure you weren't idiots and left the letter behind.
Here it is. I found the letter. Whee!
Yeah, we got the letter.
So yeah, we've come in response to your letter about bringing this miracle power to the city of Russellton.
Oh yeah, right. Of course. Sorry. Come in. I guess. Come in. They kind of turns around and starts walking in.
I whisper to everyone and say, why didn't we just go to the address on the letter rather than following the golden thread? It would have been way easier.
We were adventure tired then.
Do you guys go in?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go in, because let's face it, if people are being careless here, he didn't check none of us were vampires. So
Yeah, and we do look like a strange bunch of folk as well. But on the way in, I would like to, if possible, maybe roll a perception and see if he has any electric candles or any electric versions of goods or items that we may be used to, but maybe they're using electric alternatively?
Very good. I love it. Roll a perception for me, Finn.
Oh, and it's fallen on the floor.
Oh no, the suspense is killing.
It is a 16.
16. Excellent. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of things. It's not abundant here. I mean, when you heard about this mad scientist, you thought like this golden thread would be connected to everything, like the doors, the windows. You know, he'd have like a much like Finn had, not Finn, sorry, Flink, much like Flink had like a magical pot that would stir itself, and like a Argo which would heat itself and stuff. But it's very minimalistic in here in terms of electric. He has a couple of magical candles that seem to be illuminating themselves, like sconces on the walls. But apart from that, it doesn't seem to be much at all. However, what you do see, though, is this place is a little bit dusty, a little bit drab. Kind of a thin layer of dust on like all like the shelves with all the crockery and stuff. But scattered about the place is like tons of. There's thank you cards. There's gifts from villagers. There's a couple of bouquets of flowers in the corner which seem to be kind of old and slightly wilting. Just piles and sacks and like little coin purse pouches and stuff which seem you can assume are filled with golden riches, just kind of piled up awkwardly like there's fucking too much of it all. One of these little cards takes your eyes. It seems to be like a little handmade card, quite small, almost like A5, with a very crudely drawn Bunzel in crown. You manage to get a little glimpse on inside, and it says, "Oh, dear Bunzel, in our lessons today, we were told to talk about who we idolize, and I want to create wonderful things like you," kind of thing. And it is there amongst a sea of thank yous and my congratulations and stuff. It is not like a crazy hoarder, but there is just a bunch of like thank you cards and gifts and just absolutely covering this house.
Okay.
Kind of dresses you into like the dining room area. Again, this table seems to be piles of these kind of gifts and cards and stuff that he kind of manages to pick up and finds another place for. It's like, sit down.
I say, how's business, Bunzel? Looks like you've been busy.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I had that kind of eureka moment, and just everyone's really happy, and I'm happy that I was able to do this for everyone. It's very good. It's very good.
When was the eureka moment, Bunzel?
I'd say a couple of years ago was the kind of eureka moment when it hit me, but in terms of actually getting it to work, kind of gestures to the single candle he has that's illuminating this room. That's only been a recent thing, only half a year or so. But you know, progress, and we're getting there. Obviously, you guys from Russellton, I mean, it'll take a while to get the cable there, but it's going to be good.
Interesting. It's all very impressive stuff. Where could I ask where this energy, this electric, comes from? How did you discover it? Surely there must be a source. What is creating this energy?
Many people have asked, and I'm keeping that a closely guarded secret.
I see, of course.
You must understand.
I do.
Wouldn't want anyone to steal your ideas.
Your thunder, as it were. But it's lightning, that's the sound it makes. But ignore that part.
It's not a case of... Well, it is a case of people stealing it, I guess. But at the same time, I mean, I'm giving it away for free. I feel like it is something which we deserve and everyone should have. And, you know, some people, if they got their hands on it, they'd want people to pay for it, and then it'd be a horrible mess. But if the secret is safe with me and I'm giving it away for free, then there is no harm and no foul, and there can be no evil doings, as there were.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. I mean, and nobody would want energy bills. That does sound like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine charging people. I mean, they kind of gestures to all these gifts and trinkets and thank yous that he's been given over the course of this kind of half a year where the power's been on. It's like people are trying to pay for it, or not pay for it, but people are trying to pay me for it. But I mean, I accept it out of politeness, but I can't. There's far too much.
Tell me, Bunzel, how do you afford the infrastructure? There's a lot of golden thread out there that cannot be cheap. How are you managing to pay for that if no one actually pays for the power that it carries to them?
Well, some of my not royalties, but some of this thank you money that I get goes into providing the finances for it. But it's more of a give and take. The jewelers that are helping me make this gold thread, their machines and their instruments that they use to create the thread are run by the power. And I mean, I have gold to spare, kind of gestures to like these coin pouches and like these stacks of gold which are just dotted about the place. And the pylons, obviously, a lot of people were a little bit hesitant at first. The coal industry nearby weren't too happy with me, but now that my power source helps run the mines and illuminates the mines, they seem to be a little bit happier with me, as well as the logging industry as well. Obviously, people don't really need the firewood anymore in the local area, but they have managed to shift focus, and instead of making the firewood for the local area, they make the pylons for me. So it's a win-win, I guess, is the best way to describe it.
How does this work with the local governor or leader of the city, or is this city yours?
No, I don't. No, I couldn't possibly run the city. No, many people have asked me to run it, but no, I couldn't do that. No, God, I can't speak to large crowds like that.
So who's in charge of Croft?
Who is in charge of Croft? His name is Jorgus Unsky. Very big man. Very big.
And what does he think of your electric?
Oh, he loves it. The fact that this is where it originates from, and I mean the word of mouth alone, and people coming far and wide to this city, he's over the moon.
Okay. So tell us, what do you need from us in order to get this over to Rosselton?
Yes. I'm sorry, but I haven't been 100% honest and forthcoming with you all. I did need you guys to come here to give me the all clear from Rosselton, but I was hoping I could ask a little bit more from you.
I told you it wasn't just $4,000 for nothing.
I mean, no, I
Bunzel.
have the 4, and he kind of lifts up this chest and just thumps it on the. I mean, there you go. There's the 4,000 as promised.
You want to start loading the bag? This might take a minute, but we'll at the end of our conversation.
Yeah, this isn't exactly this. Before you go on, Bunzel, and tell us what you like to do, this isn't exactly the sort of establishment we were expecting. We were expecting a mansion or a factory where all this begins, but it seems you just stay in the same house. Maybe you've always stayed in. Did you not want to upgrade? It also looks a bit dusty around here. I mean, what's the story? What's the story about this place?
Tell us, Bunzel.
Roll a persuasion for me, Oran.
Wow. I
Is
don't
that
have great persuasion.
not
Is
a
that
great?
Is that a D20? Oh,
That'd
God.
be a D20.
Oh,
5.
Warren.
5. This house means a lot to me. I'm not much for material possessions. I'd rather stay here. I'm comfortable here.
I'm just going to fix Professor Bunzel's eye for a second, and I'm just going to look at him very sincerely and say, Professor, with respect for a man who has done so much and has made so many people so happy, you don't seem very happy. Have you been crying? You can tell us. We are friends here. Have you noticed? Look at the size of Oran here. When he heard that we could have that we've been perhaps brought here with extra intentions, he could have flipped a table like that, but he didn't, because we're friends. We are here to help you, but you must be honest with us.
Okay, roll a persuasion. However, for the future, I'm only going to let you guys like poke and prod a couple of times because I can't have everybody roll until someone succeeds.
I've rolled 18 and my persuasion is +2.
Unnatural 20. Oof a doof. My boy. I haven't been crying. No, it's just.
It's okay if you have. It's nothing to be ashamed of anymore.
A couple of years back, before the big eureka moment, my wife and my daughter passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
It's okay. It's okay. There was an illness that went through the town. Lots of people lost lots of friends and family. I myself was one of the unlucky ones. So I do it for them. I continued my work and discovered how to make the power work and the source work for them. That's why I don't really want to leave.
Okay, so what is this extra task you would like us to complete? I say abrasively.
Well, I mean, in terms of payment, I could pay you more, but
Yes.
okay. It just starts reaching over. And another 2 would be enough, do you think, to listen and stay?
I nudge Uraprax and say, you only need 500 more and you can buy this place.
600 more.
Oh, I said 2,000, but all right, 600 would be enough.
No, on top of the 2,000.
So you want an additional 2,600?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Give me a minute. And he kind of goes up, kind of leaves you guys in the dining room and just kind of slowly wanders out into a different room. You can hear chinking and clinking. I'm not able to count it all properly, but it kind of puts some very hefty kind of coin purses down. They kind of ching and thud down onto the table.
He seems a trustworthy guy.
Yeah, I say, you go ahead, and I grab a coin and test it with my teeth and start counting them.
All right.
So do tell us what we can help you with then, Professor.
Recently, I feel like I have a bit of a target on the back of my head. I don't know, I feel like although I have tried to help everyone and provide jobs where jobs are no longer used or needed because of the power source, I have tried to compensate people and help them work for me, like I said. People creating the gold thread, people creating the pylons. Obviously, I've needed to hire and pay a huge workforce to get these pylons and the thread out to neighbouring towns. But I still feel like someone's targeting me. I feel like, I don't know, there must be someone who's not happy with me. I feel like I have to constantly watch over my shoulder this past week or so, and I don't know, I heard heard something outside my front door the other day. Sounded like someone trying to get in.
Do you have any idea on who could be targeting you? I'm aware that your electricity has affected a lot of the town, but do you have any enemies, any suspects?
Oh no, I don't. I'd like to think I don't have any enemies or suspects. I mean, I don't want to assume or point the finger, but there are a lot of miners and people that work in coal who obviously, now that winter's coming, will be not getting much of a profit anymore. Maybe they're upset. I don't know.
How safe is this golden thread? Has anyone been injured in the rollout to various neighbouring towns? I imagine a thread with that much power running through it could be quite dangerous in untrained hands.
Oh yes, absolutely. But I teach and instruct the workers who are connecting the thread very carefully. We have enchanted gloves for handling the thread, and we always make sure that everything is fully secure before connecting to the power source. But yes, don't. If you're going to touch it, please don't.
Where could I get some of these enchanted gloves?
Oh, you're all want today, aren't you? He kind of gets up.
Important PPE is, as you know.
PPE is very important, guys. You all know this.
So
yeah, goes off. Kind of leaves you guys awkwardly there in the dining room alone as Uraprax is slowly counting all this gold.
382, 383, 384.
Whilst he's counting, I just nudged to the others. The golden thread, we followed it here. Does all the golden thread lead here?
Yeah.
Is this the center? If it is, the energy is coming from here.
Yeah, I think one of us, whoever's sneakiest, should go upstairs while we talk to this guy. He's a nice guy. I feel kind of bad about going behind his back, but it's going to answer a lot of questions if we figure out where this is coming from.
Why would he bring 4 strangers to his house, possibly the source of the energy, because he heard something at the door?
I mean, this is how we're going to investigate this. Maybe instead of going out, maybe we should stake out with him and make sure no one's going to come in. And then we could maybe investigate as I lean in closely to you in case the professor's coming back in the dead of night.
I like your thinking.
I cast Unseen Servant and tell him to finish counting out the money while I join in the conversation.
Not to go unseen to find out what's going on in the house.
The unseen servant is much better at counting gold than you. It seems to be almost like a bloody dealer at blackjack who's counting and jigging all the tokens and all the chips. He's doing a very good job at this.
Good job, Ian Visible.
Ian Visible, yeah, that was his name. At that point, Bunzel does come back. Yeah, these are my pair. I don't need them at the moment.
Thank you very much.
Just a almost like welder's gloves, like kind of big and chunky. They kind of come almost halfway down your forearm. Made out of that weird kind of, not felty material, but that kind of weird fuzzy, kind of coarse fabric that the welding gloves are made out of.
I side-eye Scamos as if to say, tell him about the stakeout.
So, Professor, we've been thinking about this target.
Scamos, you've gone quiet again.
Scamos, stop whispering.
How is that? Can you hear me any better?
Oh, you've gone super quiet again, man.
Right. Is that any better?
No.
Right.
And we can hear you, but it's just It's just gone very quiet,
quiet.
strangely. Yeah.
Knows what I've actually done. I haven't moved anything, so hopefully it'll improve again in a second. I'll try talking loudly.
It's Bunzel.
It's Bunzel, yeah.
Maybe
He's,
that's what I'm talking
he's
about.
disturbing the airflow.
You must be getting hungry again. Actually, that's what it is. You need to eat.
Yeah, my energy is dipping again. So, Professor, if you can hear me, I'm saying this subtly in case there are ears everywhere. You mentioned there was a target on your back and you felt threatened. You say that someone maybe tried to get in here last night. Tell me a little bit more about that.
I don't know. It was random, just almost like a scratching noise at the front door.
Right. We feel, having discussed this with my colleagues, apologies to impose upon you, but I think that the best thing for us to do in the first instance, rather than go out hunting down unseen enemies that could come from any of the sources, from people who are jealous of everything you're trying to create here, we think the safest thing to do to start our investigation is to stay here tonight in case anyone makes an attempt. And that way they can come to us, because we understand that we noticed that the power all comes from this location. So I guess the secret of the energy and the source of everything you're trying to do here also based at this house. So they could be attacking you. They could be after the secret.
Yes, yeah, no, that's what I was worried about, and I feel like a stakeout would be a very good idea. Yes, kind of goes and grabs another kind of coin purse which he's been gifted, and kind of slunks that on the table. This one's a little bit smaller and a lot lighter. It's like maybe we could buy some iron bars to board up the windows and doors just in case.
Oh, we can buy with some of the money and resources you have here. We can make breaking into this house and stealing the secrets. You know you said the wire can be quite dangerous if you're not handling it properly. Imagine that amount of danger. Are you imagining it?
I wouldn't feel comfortable if we were going to lay a wire trap on the ground. I mean, what about civilians?
Oh no civilians. Definitely. I mean, look at these faces. We aren't the type of people who would injure innocent people. But if burglars try and break in here to harm you or steal the secret, then in many ways we could put a sign out the front saying "Be careful, no burglars," and then if they do come in and are killed by any deadly array of traps we put together, it's kind of on them, really.
Word.
We're gonna Home Alone this shit.
Yeah, we're going to need some cans of paint and little, very, very small models of horseless carts.
Yeah.
Did your son or daughter have any?
My daughter did not have little miniature ornaments of horses.
Okay, did she have a pet tarantula? This is important.
No, but she did have a random heating rod that they can hang on the door handle. Where the hell did that thing come from?
Perfect.
Excellent. We're going to need to make many door handles extremely hot. And then, how do people in the world of D&D get creases out of their clothes?
Oh, we're talking about a D&D iron now, are we?
Yes, just in case I need to drop it on someone's face.
You know what? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these questions. Everybody's wrinkly. Deal with it.
Ian Bisbal does a cracking impression of Macaulay Culkin. Go on, Ian. Look at that's fantastic.
The unseen servant does the whole slaps his hands on his face and does the scream, but no one can hear it or see it because he's unseen.
We all just imagine.
We all imagine it.
Yes, we're going to need some items. Thankfully, one of our party carries a quill and paper, and it's time to make one of our classic lists. So, we're going to need... Let's have a little round robin. Shall we go round and make a list? First thing on our list, tar.
Next. firecrackers.
Chicken feathers.
Yeah.
Fucking cardboard cutouts and the fucking little miniature train set so we can make the cardboard cutouts move about.
Oh, with the technology, you probably can do that with the power.
Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
Where the hell did Macaulay Culkin get like that flamethrower from? Like that burner? Doesn't one of the wet bandits go for the front door like a flamethrower like bursts onto his head?
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Super glue.
Super glue.
We need some petrol to fill the toilet with.
Thumbtacks.
Hang about here, guys. If the potential enemies are actually after Bunzel, we can't send him out shopping. We're going to have to go out shopping.
Oh, one of us will go out shopping, but we'll nip out and do that, and then we'll be ready to secure the house. I imagine this will happen in Montana.
Oh yeah, even Invisible can go out.
Stop counting. We've got a job for you.
Okay.
The unseen servant will not be able to go and buy shit.
Well, hold on. We're in is there not like a delivery service? We could send them with a note, and they could maybe deliver it
Like
in
a
one of
float-
these.
like a
Big delivery.
Oh, should we could do I know it's not the season for it, not yet, but we could do an Ebenezer Scrooge. We could look out the window and go, "You boy, what day is today?" Why, today, sir, is the 29th of September. Go to the shops quickly and get me these things.
1, tar, 2.
Firecrackers, chicken feathers, cardboard cutouts, minifigures, super glue, petrol.
A tarantula. I want a tarantula.
So live or dead?
It doesn't matter.
Bunzel speaks up at this point. Well, I mean, I can stay here, and if there's gonna be anything that happens, it'll probably be, like you say, at night. So, I mean, you guys are more than welcome to go and supply up and tar and feathers, and I mean, I thought maybe we could just kind of keep lookout just in case, but
We will keep a lookout just in case. This is all just a precaution, Professor. You cannot be too careful with your safety at times like this. And if I can just share one piece of experience we've had out on the road with these adventures, is that sometimes things can escalate quite unexpectedly. So 1 minute you're trying to mug a guy, the next minute some lunatic has sucker stabbed you right in the eye. So you've got to be really careful with these things. So consider all of this stuff we're doing, not the machinations of lunatics, but just precautious people taking precautions to save ourselves from future tragedy. While we're going out, do you need anything else? I mean, you've obviously been working here very hard. Do you need snacks? We can make a nice time of it. When's the last time you had company? Come on.
oh, I haven't had company in a very long time.
Oh, come on. What's your favourite snack then? What's your favourite tipple? We'll get something in.
I like the little kind of crunchy triangles that you can dip in the spicy sauce.
Oh,
I'm aware of
Brax,
those.
can we add those to the list, please?
Doritos.
Fantasy Doritos. D and Doritos.
D and Doritos, love it.
Yum, yum, yum. What a time. And then we're going to need some
D and D is just
sugary pop.
Doritos and dip.
Doritos and dip. That's what it stands for now.
Oh dear.
Oh, you see? This is going to be a fun stakeout.
But I think kind of points at your notes that you're making. But I think maybe like the planks or the iron bars would be a good idea.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Planks, iron bars, all the way.
Okay.
We
Is
should
there
get some
anything we can get
string
to
as
clean
well.
the kippers?
If we get some string, we could maybe hook up a crossbow to point at a door, and put the string up, and then if the door opens, the crossbow mechanism is fired. So we need some string.
Do we still have the magic pillow?
We do still have the magic
You
pillow.
do have the magic
So-
sleepy time
maybe-
pillow.
Maybe we could attach the pillow to some sort of trap. The pillow smacks them in the face. It's so powerful. It just puts them straight to sleep, conks them straight out on the ground. This is what I'm thinking.
We could definitely make a sleep. We could make a sleep pillow trap, and then
sleep pillow trap. That's
a sleep pillow trap, and then Oroprax. Can I also have on the list just a couple of spare bricks?
You know, one of the if anyone listening, or just in general, is planning on running D&D or wants to be a dungeon master, one things I will say is don't give NPCs or bad guys or big bad bosses items or equipment that you're not willing to then give the team afterwards. So why the fuck did I make a magical sleepy time pillow?
It's such a good item.
You should never give the bad guy a big, huge, powerful sword if you're not willing for the team to then have that sword. Why the hell did I make this fucking pillow?
Before we leave and before we sign off on this list, we don't know how many entrances we're covering. Like, we should scope out, get an idea of the house, right?
Professor, while we're doing this, can you draw a quick sketch of the house for us? Windows, doors, all that stuff. A little map.
I could just show you.
Yeah, let's go for a little recce round.
All right.
Refrax, can you draw the map as we go? I'd like a nice battle plan when we're done.
On it, Captain.
Okay, so you have the front door, which leads into a hallway. Initially, on the left-hand side is a staircase that goes up, and a door underneath the stairway, or connected to this stairway, that obviously is another flight of stairs underneath that leads to the basement. And he kind of gestures to this door. It's like, this is the door to the basement. This is where the power supply is. So if this was a front line, this is it. We can't let anybody get in there if that's what they're here for.
It's very close to the front door.
Is there any openings? Is there any openings in this basement? Even a small window that only a child could climb through is important for us to know about.
No, it is. It's completely contained. This is the only door. He kind of knocks on it, and it is there's a serious stud to this door. This is very solid hardwood. It's always locked. I've got the key, so just no one in the basement.
What's in the basement, Bunzel?
The power supply.
There can't be any secrets between us, Bunzel.
We
need to know what we're protecting.
It's the power supply. Again, I can't tell you too much because it's a closely guarded secret. You must respect that.
Okay, but if it's a portal to hell, you have to tell us. It's like if you ask them if they're a policeman, they have to tell you.
I don't think they have to. No, it's not a portal to the underworld. Don't worry.
Is it Jason?
Jason?
I'm going better. Middleditch and Schwartz.
No, it's not Jason. Oh no! It's not Jason. It's not a little alien boy. It's not a portal to hell.
Explain the rest of the house. So far, I have a door and a hallway with some stairs.
Okay, so you got the hallway. You've got the flight of stairs on the left. The hallway leads through. There is a door on the far side, which leads into a kitchen area, which has a back door. And then there is a door on the right-hand side of the hallway, which leads to a nice living room area. That then bleeds round and through into the dining area, which then connects into the kitchen.
Right.
So you can run around in circles on the bottom floor if you need to cover all the walls and stuff. The upper floor, again, very simplistic, seems to be the hallway that kind of goes up and curves around slightly, and it seems to just have two bedrooms, his and then what you can assume was his daughter's. Okay. So smaller on the top, a bit bigger at the bottom.
But it's just one door and a lot of windows. Is that right?
Is there no back door?
There is a back door.
Back door.
So in terms, if we're home aloneing this, let's say there is a front door you need to protect.
A back door.
But they're clearly going to come in the back door.
There is a window in the kitchen. There is a one window in the dining area. And there is a big window in the living room.
I think for the windows we need like dim lights on, and then like some cardboard cutouts.
The cardboard cutouts that are moving in and out, right?
Yeah.
And then do we want a sleep trap on like the front doormat when someone comes through there?
Oh, if you put the pillow where the front doormat would be, so people have to step on the pillow. Yeah, that's clever.
What we should probably do, though, guys, is we probably want to make one of the entrances quite inviting. We want to fortify the others.
And put the crossbow ready to shoot it when they open the door.
We want them to feel like, oh no, can't do that window, can't do that window, can't do that door, but that one looks like they've not done it, and funnel them towards that so that we can all be ready.
And that is what we call in the business a kill box. I mean, a safe... a safety zone.
You're gonna bottleneck them and kill them all in one big swoop, are you?
No, not at all. We're going
you heartless bastards.
We're gonna just gently deter them from anything. In case this does go south, or we're perhaps chuck a couple of healing potions on our shopping list just in case we need extras.
That's cool. What I'll do through the whole operation is go up on the roof and just keep a lookout.
You do love the roof.
I do love the roof.
Well, he knows how to get down safely.
Featherfall.
Well, that's a good point. Actually, you say is there a fireplace? Is there a chimney you need to worry about? People Santa Clausing us?
Yeah, there is a chimney in this place and a fireplace in the kind of living room area at the front of the house.
We will, when we get the tar, guys. We'll get a good pot of that boiling in the fireplace in case anyone comes down the chimney. And we'll take a pot of it upstairs in case we need to waz it out the window at anyone.
What?
We can just build like a really big fire in the fireplace as well if we wanted to use the tar elsewhere. Like we could just make sure that that's impassable, unless it's a dragonborn coming down, in which case that's actually not going to work. So
I'm sure I have a resistance to heat.
Yeah, it'd be like a lovely bath with them. If
it depends what colour they are.
I'm acid resistant, not fire resistant. I'm made of copper. I'm not made of copper. I'm copper coloured. So I whistle when I get heated.
Oraprax, if you're on the roof, you should probably take all the bricks we're going to buy up there with you.
Or just start hucking bricks like a lunatic.
I have never encountered a problem you can't solve with half a brick.
We are forgetting the fact that we are surrounded by projectiles. We have coins everywhere. They'll do some fucking damage if you sling them.
Have you learned the attack payday?
Yes. Throw coins at people. That's going to hurt more than a brick. Maybe not more than a brick. Depends how you.
I don't know. I'd take a coin any day over a brick.
Over a brick.
A coin would like penetrate your skin.
Well,
a brick is probably dead.
Throwing a coin.
Smash your entire face.
No, that's what he means. That's what he means. He would take a hit by a coin
over the brick. I don't want the brick.
I think I'd rather the coin.
What you were saying.
Well, if you're making some kind of explosive where there's coin shrapnel going everywhere, then yeah. But no, I'd rather get hit by a coin than get hit by a brick.
Yeah.
Oh, Lewis just made a great point. We could have an explosive that had coins in it as like.
No, why not? No.
Let's not. I mean, we're making a shopping list. Let's not waste our coins. Oraprax, can we put nails on the list, please?
Oh yeah, good point.
Putting what on the list?
Nails.
Can I get can you pop into the blacksmith big horseshoe nails, really really big ones, wrought iron,
jaggedy and used.
This is going to be really underwhelming if no one shows up.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have left Bunzel very prepared if no one shows up. We can leave in good conscience.
Have we established we're using his coin for this?
He'll absolutely. Yeah, he's given us it. He's given us like 6,000. Well, hold on. What did Ian?
No. I'm not using our earnings to pay for this stuff. These are expenses. This is not the reward.
Okay, fair enough.
Guys, what
Bunzel?
What is the mission here? Like, he's basically offered us treasure chests full of money, and he's basically somebody is coming in the night, but he's not actually said are we just supposed to defend him for one night or forever, or to get to the bottom of?
We're gonna get to the bottom of this. Like, I think we're establishing a plan, guys. And Professor, sometimes we're throwing these ideas ahead. This is all safety discussions we're having here. So I think the main point is that when people come, we just leave any attackers, at least one of them, alive enough to establish a motive, and then we can hobgoblin it like we did that time when we went back to their base and saw who was behind it all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want it to break out in violence.
You've called the wrong guys.
Oh, well, I don't really know who I was going to call. I just hope for the best of the best. And if Darth and Gumbutts decided you guys should come here, then you are the guys who should help me.
I think he was just wanting the power more than anything.
But with great power.
Oh, the way you said that was perfect.
Oh my god. Okay, Carl, I think you need an inspiration point for that.
Yes.
Take a point of inspiration. Oh.
How do I do that? Inspiration.
So you can add inspiration to your character sheet.
Jesus.
Oh, I feel. Oh yeah, here we go.
And then
Gain. Nice.
at any point you can spend that, and it's basically a re-roll. You get to re-roll the dice.
And then that
I've got one of those
disappears.
points as well. I didn't realise it
That-
was a reason. I'm going to use
That,
that.
I've got
yes.
one as well.
Usable. Okay, nice.
One use.
Right, and then
Yeah,
so there are other
I
plans.
think you just wanted the power, buddy.
Well, I mean, he did he not?
That's what he sent us. But he chose us for a reason.
He really didn't. We were
We were just
available.
the first people
No.
that came along.
Come on, if it wasn't for us, what would they do? Send John out from cowering under the bar while they still had loads of hobgoblins messing the joint about? Our results may be chaotic, but we get them.
Mm-hmm.
And Professor, this is going to be no exception. We'll find out who's behind this, and then, if it makes you more comfortable, when we have an opportunity to speak to one of them, we'll find out why, and we'll give them the chance to stop nicely.
Yes, and like you mentioned, this stakeout may take a couple of days. I hope I'm not keeping you from anything.
Well, nothing that can't be.
Pleasure.
Nothing that can't wait. There is nothing more pressing than this. Although, if you do hear about what might be causing any bard-related curses in your travels, then do let us know.
Bard-related curses?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh, while I'm here though, have you ever heard of an inventor from Russellton? He asked us to send his regards. His name is somewhere in this piece of parchment.
Flink?
Flink.
Flink, yeah.
Flink
Yeah.
Merriweather.
Nice guy.
Oh.
Owes us a magic carpet, but yeah, he's a nice chap.
Oh, I think I've heard of Merriweather, yes. Yeah, he's a little bit...
Disfigured at the moment, but he will get better.
I'm sorry? Pardon?
There was an
Never
accident with some armor that he enchanted on his own that we saved him from.
Yes, yeah, I've heard of this Merriweather. He's always trying to enchant things that shouldn't be enchanted. I mean,
Like my heart.
sure, yes, like your heart.
Like a carpet.
No, that should be enchanted,
That
and a
should be,
damn sight
okay,
faster
that's
than
a
has
standard.
been.
Oh no.
And
Okay.
he's actually promised to enchant us a carpet big enough to wrap a horse in. That's why it's taken a little longer.
Well, I can tell you two are big pals. He might be coming here. He might not. Just to let you know.
Oh well, I mean, if this Merriweather ever arrives, I'm sure I'll thank him, and lovely to meet another fellow arcanist and scientist, as it were, to push the envelope. It would be nice to meet him one day, hopefully.
Yeah, he definitely wants to meet you. He's a little bit crazy. Crazy enough to try and get to your inventions in the middle of the night, perhaps. We'd just point it out there.
Oh, do we think he may be a suspect?
Well,
we do now.
You say he's an enchanter? I mean, what... Have you seen any of his works?
Only what's glued to him.
Magical armor?
Up close and personal with one of his enchantments.
Pillows, all sorts of
Swords.
brilliant things, yeah.
Pillow?
Yeah, you don't want to know about the pillow, to be honest.
Real high-end stuff.
Let's get ready to wreck some cunts. I mean, keep this place real safe.
Wow, where did that come from? Ooh, okay, right.
There's our D&D t-shirts when this all comes out.
Let's get ready to wreck some.
So, you have a Macaulay Culkin shopping list.
Mhm.
You have a lot of gold to spend. What would you guys like to
Bunzel. Yeah, before we go, Bunzel, just to confirm with you, this is all expenses that we're going to be claiming back from you.
Yeah, just make a note and I can reimburse you.
Okay.
Can I get that in writing, please?
Oh, okay.
It's like I'm recording.
Yeah, all conversations are recorded.
Fantastic.
There's a chance that Bunzel isn't going to let us back in, right? He's going to be... We're going to have scared him off a little bit. Do you not think? I'm talking quietly to the guys. Bunzel can't hear me right now.
Finn,
Okay.
Finn, can you open your backpack so that Ian can deposit the gold?
Well, we're taking everything now. Is that? How it's gonna
I'd
be?
like to take mine up front.
Yeah, we might not get back in here. Who knows what's going to happen.
Are we?
I think
We
at
can't.
this point he's going to let us in, right?
we-
Like,
We're not all going to the shop, are we? Surely, like maybe we
one
should
of us
do.
should probably stay and look after him in case anything happens.
Yeah,
Okay.
one
I don't
person
mind going to the shop.
quick shop visit. One person maybe does a recce of the house. One person guard duty. Fast forward.
Yeah, I'll be guard
Depends.
duty then. I think someone else should stay, though, that can go around the house.
Do you want me to the shop or go on the rooftop?
There's
Okay,
nothing on
you do the roof. I'll do the shop with the bag.
Okay,
Oh,
here's the
okay.
list.
Thanks.
Scamos, are you staying as well?
Yeah, why not? I'll have a scout around the house and really have a close look. Maybe I'll really firm up the plans to make sure that when Finn comes back with our supplies, then that we're ready to get things placed efficiently. We're ready to board those windows, set up those cardboard cutouts, make that door handle to the basement excruciatingly hot.
What about anyone that might have seen this come into this house who might already be staking out, that sees Finn go to the shop and thinks about waylaying him?
Maybe if you guys have got the house covered, I'll go with Finn just in case.
Or you could go to the shop and use one of your disguises.
Oh. In that case, let me just go and slip into something more comfortable. Like, talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Professor, can I borrow your bathroom for a moment?
Sure. Kind of gestures down the hall to where the bathroom is.
Ooh, chrome taps, fancy.
Oh, plumbing.
Describe the plumbing to me.
Okay, so we're going to hang around while we... I was going to ask Bunzel something and it's totally gone out of my head what it was. Sorry, that doesn't make for very interesting chat, but that was gonna be
You are still at Bunzel's house. If you can still more than welcome to ask him something.
I scale the roof.
Okay. Uraprax does what he always does and climbs on top of the roof.
How have you gone on the roof though? Did you go outside or did you go up the chimney?
I came outside and used the lip of the window and the little props of brick in order to leverage myself up using my quadriceps and a combination of my biceps and triceps in order to claw myself up with the tensile strength of a dragonborn onto the shingle tiled roof.
Thank you very much.
That's all well and good, but still rolling acrobatics for me.
11.
11. It's a little bit fiddly. You, as you start to climb up, you slip a little bit, and you instinctively go to grab the cable, the golden thread, but you think better of it and just grab a tile next to it. But as you kind of climb up and get onto the roof, you can feel like this weird kind of thrumming coming from the cable itself. There's this kind of almost slight vibration and kind of woo to it.
It looks beautiful from up here, guys.
It does actually. As it starts to, the sun kind of starts to rise and it's kind of getting to the middle of the day. This golden thread that kind of spirals out throughout this whole huge city. You can see like the hustle and bustle and the kind of craziness of the Vegas Strip beyond, but you can kind of, this golden thread is just kind of catching the sun as you kind of sit on the top of the roof.
Scamos, have you left already? Have you?
No, out of the back. Well.
Oh.
Stepping out of the. Oh, are we back again? I lost video for a second.
For the podcast feed, this is technical difficulties. We've lost a. Where's Finn? Where's Finn gone?
I'm here. Am I not?
I can see him.
Yep. We got Carl.
But
Am I here?
Yep. We got Carl.
Oh, good.
And speaking, as long as you can hear me. So yeah. In many ways, Scamos has left because stepping out of the bathroom in his work overalls and really taking a look and wondering how expensive this job's going to be is renowned painter, decorator, and handyman Dothamir Screwit.
What? One more time, please.
Bear with me a second. I'm just going to run and do a quick emergency thing. I'll be just a second. I will be right back. But my name is Dothamir Screwit. But I'll be right back to explain that in just a second.
Okay. So Scamos has adorned himself in one of his many kind of false identities and characters that he kind of puts on to sneak out of or hide from difficult situations. Is anyone else doing anything? Because we've got Uraprax on the roof, Oran Hammerhand. Is there anything you want to do? Do you remember what you'd like to ask Bunzel?
I was just going to start making some conversation because obviously we're waiting for the guys to come back, but they haven't left yet. But I guess I could ask my question because I was going to ask just about Croft, about the city. On the way over here, we saw a place called Brews, a pub. I was just wondering, what's the story with that place? Is it have you been there? It's obviously connected to your golden thread, so I expect you have a pretty good knowledge of most of the local businesses.
In terms of local businesses, I am personally there to help connect the power supply and make any adjustments to equipment which may need the power supply to be connected to it. But Brews is wonderful. They make very, very, very good potions there.
Oh, so they make it's like a potion shop rather than a pub?
It's a potion shop.
Oh.
Magical and wonderful elixirs.
I'd written down it was a pub. Okay, so that's probably one of the places, Finn, that you're gonna, or Dothamir. That's probably one of the places that you're gonna go.
Yeah, I'll call in anywhere that you need. Obviously, for jobs like this, you only need the finest construction materials. Cowboys out there, a lot of cowboys. But if you want a job doing well, you've come to the right place. Obviously, health and safety, the highest standards of working will transform this place for you, Professor. Don't you worry about it.
Okay.
Aesthetically, of course, there's no other motive here, no functional use, just to make the house look a lot nicer for you, of course.
So you've proper become like this everyday builder man with his Dothamir spirits.
That's right, mate.
Oh yeah, but it's gonna be like a 3-day job, mate.
Well, you are paying for the job to be completed, so actually, it's no odds to you how long it takes. It's we're going to get the job done. That's what's important for you. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to give you a quote and then say, "Oh, it's going to take another couple of extra days."
They can't get the parts till Thursday.
Exactly, and you ain't going to pay us by the day. You ain't got time for it. I ain't got time for it.
I feel like I'm on one of those TV shows where they get all the dodgy cowboy builders and like record them with hidden cameras and stuff. Okay.
So what would you like me to roll?
What would I like you to roll? So this is one of your alter egos, right? This is one of your disguises.
Sort of my characters. I mean, I suppose it's not important if those guys are tricked. But
have you put anything on? Any, like, obviously you have some kind of, for argument's sake, you've got like a little work overalls that you've put over the top of your
little work overalls. I've got like a little D&D equivalent of a pencil that I keep behind my ear.
Yeah.
I've got like some tools. I've got a crowbar in my inventory, so I've got that with me.
Holding on to that. Yeah,
I'm looking at just using it to point at things. All this is going to have to come down, mate. All of this is going to have to come down.
Is this load bearing? Is this load bearing?
Yeah, like, when there's like a slight chip in the plastic. Oh, this is bad. Knocking it all out the
place. Brilliant. All right. Okay, so you guys have a Home Alone-esque kind of plan. We've got Uraprax on the roof. We've got Scamos in one of his many alter egos and false identities to successfully shop amongst the town. We've got Finn and Oran keeping an eye on the place and keeping an eye on Bunzel, making sure Bunzel is safe. And I think there is where we'll leave it for tonight.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! We shall go shopping and we shall start our stakeout on our next game.
This was not how I expected tonight to go.
I know, right? Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Monsters and Madness. If you'd like to find out more about myself, you can find me on Instagram @LouisHay, where I post a bunch of different silly sketches and doodles. If you'd like to find out more about John, you can find him on his Twitter @JohnCrinnan, or his website johncrinnan.com, where you'll find all the links to his stories and his other podcasts. You can find Carl on his Twitter @CarlHughes, or you can visit hawkandcleaver.com to learn more about how they help fresh and upcoming podcasters. To find Daniel, you can find him on his Twitter @WilcoxAuthor, or visit danielwilcox.com to learn more about his books and his special bootcamp to help new authors. You can find Andy CT on his Twitter @AndyCTWrites, or visit theotherstories.net to hear some of his horrifically twisted creations. The Monsters and Madness theme tune was created by Timo Henderson. You can check out his website, timohenderson.com, to see what kind of awesome music he can create, especially for you and your next project. And lastly, our background music was produced by Daniel Birch and downloaded from freemusicarchive.org. Visit his website, danielbirchmusic.com, to see what other music he has available. Thank you so much for listening, guys. We really hope you enjoyed the podcast, and we'll see you soon.